Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the DMD Tone Quickie, but not as quick as the other ones. Because right now we're going to go through the DSL-HR 100, the DSL-H 100, and the JVM410. We're going to see which one sounds better to this. I have an AT2020 mic hooked up over here. It's off to the side a little bit because if you go straight ahead with it, it's really trebly and all that stuff, so it kind of went off to the side, so it's a little bit darker in the mic. So what I do have is this Epiphone Gothic Explorer. I got some Black Winter pickups in here. Awesome guitar, love this thing. And we're just going to go through these. I got this hooked up to my amp selector, and it's going through one cab, so the only thing that changes in this whole setup is going to be the actual amps. I do also have a SD1, and that's also has a noise gate hooked up to it as well, just so we don't get too much noise feedback and all that kind of stuff. So let's find out how this goes. Now the only thing I don't have is my line selector, so I can't just seamlessly just click between these two, all these three, and just have it really quick. So what I'm gonna have to do is use the cable to go to each one of these. So is what it is. Well, let's go ahead and check this stuff out. Alright, so what you just heard in the first clip was the JVM410. So let's go ahead and check that out again. Sounds pretty good, right? So the one thing about this one is, I'll have to say, with all these right now, I have the EQ all set to at noon, just so we can have a good comparison between all these. I can tell you that the JVM has a lot more gain, is a good bit tighter as well. So let's listen to the JVM one more time. I brought the noise gate back a little bit because it seemed like it was cutting it just a hair. Alright, let's go over to the DSL100H. There we go. I already got the levels all hooked up pretty much the same, but let's see what this one sounds like. It sounds like a bit chunkier. The presence and the resonance are all at noon as well for all these amps, so all EQ stuff is the same. The volumes I had to play with because they're all the JVM and the HR both have master volumes, and the 100H does not. So it's going to be a tad bit different, just because the tubes aren't pushing as much as the JVM and the DSL100HR. So 100H again. I like that. That has that really like classic sound to it. Let's go ahead and go over to the HR. Now the HR sounds like it doesn't have as much gain on tap at the noon position. I have both of these. There's a channel select on both of these guys, and I have this one on OD1 as well as this one on lead 1, so that's basically the same thing. And this is at noon as well, And as we can tell, the gain on this one isn't as gainy. Let's go back to let's see, the second one. All right, JVM. JVM sounds like it has more of a metallic sound to it. The 100H sounds more classic sounding and like thicker. Let's go back to the 100H. Alright, let's go back to the HR. Alright, this one. Oops. Did I do that? Oh, yeah. This is the HR again. So with this one, I want a little more gain out of it, you know, for metal stuff. That's probably really good for rock. So let's go ahead and bring that up a little bit. Now, I do remember one thing. I think the 100H is biased hotter. The guy that I had take a look at this amp before, he was telling me that typically the Marshall tubes are kind of biased really low, just for, you know, longevity and stuff for the tubes. But for this one, I think he made the bias a little bit hotter on this guy. So that might be where the difference is. So let's go back to the 100H. It sounds awesome. Let's go back to the JVM. Now, you hear that? That sounds like a good bit of noise, floor noise. It's really noisy, to tell you the truth. Let's see, I don't think so that was the noise gate. I'm trying to shift that. Let's put that pretty low. Let's go back Now on the JV, I want to note that I am on OD2. OD1 I know is a lot thicker sounding. So this is on the red channel right now. Let's go to the orange. Okay, the floor noise is a little better there. I mean, it sounds great too. It just sounds like there's a good bit of floor noise to this one. Let's go ahead and check and see which one has the most bass. So at this volume level, let's check that out. Let's go ahead and bring up the resonance to about 3 o'clock, and I'll do that for all of these. All right. Resonance. All right, so this is the JVM. Now, mind you, I have the gain only around like 9 o'clock on this. On both of these, well, the 100H I have it at noon, and the 100HR I have it around 2 o'clock. So let's go ahead and give this one a little more gain. Let's do 11 o'clock. I mean, that sounds great. I love that. And now let's go back over to the 100H and see what the resonance sounds like on it. Oh, that's a lot thicker. That sounds awesome. All right, let's go over to the HR. Same with the resonance at 3 o'clock. Not as much bass. I think this one has the less amount of bass in it. So let's see if we can bring up the actual bass on it and match these others. There we go. I brought the bass up to around like 2 o'clock or so. Alright, that sounds actually pretty good. The HR definitely sounds a little more mid-scooped. So this is the 100H. This one definitely has a rounder sound to it. It's it probably would just fill out the mix a little bit more, and this is definitely more mid forward, or actually curved. So let's go to the JVM. It's got a good bit of bass. Let's actually bring the bass up on this to about 2 o'clock. Still sounds pretty metallic. Let's go ahead and bring up the gain on that. So the chugging on this is definitely tighter on the JVM, as we would expect, right? Alright, let's go to the 100H and check the chugging on it. A little more looser. And then the HR. Okay, so this one's definitely got the scoop mids. This one's definitely got a little more of the mid forwardness, and sounds a little bit looser. This one sounds just as loose, but mind you, I did not move the bass on this guy, so it sounds like this one has the most bass out of both of these. The JVM just has a metallic sound to it. It's really chimey on the top end of it. So let's go ahead and mess with the presence knob, and we'll bring those up. Actually, we'll go to 9 o'clock on all of them, see what it sounds like, and then we'll go to 3 o'clock on all of them and see what that sounds like. So let's go ahead and do the presence. 9 o'clock there, 9 o'clock there, 9 o'clock there. Alright, so we're on the HR. Let's check out the 100H. Alright, now let's go ahead and check out the JVM. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go take the presence all the way up to 3. Here. So JVM. sounds awesome. I like that. 100H. Now the HR. Okay, I think the noise gate's cutting in there a little bit. Let's go back over those again because noise gate was cutting into it a little bit. And JVM. Yeah, so the JVM's definitely got a much more tighter low end. You know, for the price difference though, what is this, $1,000 more than these guys are? Obviously this has 4 channels, and you can pretty much get. I don't know if I've ever been able to get a plexi sound out of the JVM. The JVM definitely runs really. It's not a higher frequency. It's definitely a lower frequency kind of amp. I feel like these 2 amps can get a lot more chimier than this guy can. And I'm talking about all the channels. So let's see here. What else are we gonna try? Let's go ahead and go to the red mode, and let's try the red modes in all these, right? Go to 2. We're going to do the lead 2 on this one. Let's see what that sounds like. Now, this is where the low end is actually really too loose. For anything like really metal, it just doesn't really. You need something to tighten it up, and we'll do that with an SD1. So let's go over and go to the HR, see if that's the same problem there. The HR did a little bit better on that with the low end, and the chiminess of this one is definitely a little better. Actually, we didn't try it on OD2, so let's try that. Now this is OD2. Whoa, that is way too much gain. This sound is super compressed now. Let's go back to the JVM, see what that sounds like. That floor noise, man. So for that super high gain stuff, the JVM is definitely winning in that sense. But you know, if you're not a pedal guy and you don't want to use pedals, I get that. You know, I'm very much that kind of guy, but you can definitely get some really awesome tones, you know, just throwing the SD1 in front of a really fat and loose amp. So let's check that out. So we know we like the JVM with the high gain stuff, and it's really tight sounding. So let's go ahead and turn on the SD1, and let's see if that tightens up the 100H. Yeah, to bring that noise gate in a little bit more. That's it. That's the tone, man. That right there. All right, let's try it with the HR. That sounded pretty good too. It still sounded a little more anemic. I'm not like, so when I say that stuff, all these amps are awesome. Like if something pops up in your local area and it's a good deal, any of these amps are going to do an awesome job. Like I will not knock on any of these. All I'm trying to do here is compare the sounds between them. Just trying to tweak them here and there. Adding an SD1, doing the EQ stuff. Just so you guys know, and maybe it's not a sound that you want to go for, and just the bits of options. This can pretty much do it all, but obviously taking it to a tech to get that floor noise looked at is probably, maybe it's just my amp. You know, I know the Joe Satriani one, that one has noise gates on it as well. Maybe putting one in the loop would fix that, because it seemed like it didn't fix it putting the gate in the front. So what else can we try here? Let's actually do this. I'm going to go through each of these and find out the best tone I can get out of them, what I would personally like. I'm going to use the SD1 for actually all of them, and I'm going to find the best tone out of it, and then we can see out of what I can get out of these, which one I would use. So let's find out. So we'll start off with the HR since we're there. I mean, that sounds pretty awesome, right? Let's actually go to OD1 on the HR, see if I can get something better out of it. Pumping up the gain to about 3 o'clock. So with the HR is definitely, since it's such a scooped amp, I definitely want the mids at like 2 o'clock or so. Probably even bring back the presence. Back to treble some. Well, I'll probably bring back the presence a little bit more. Okay, I like that. That's probably where I would set this. So I got the bass probably, you know, if it gets, you know, louder, I'd probably have the bass cut back, but I have it pretty high here, about like 4 o'clock or so. So let's go to 100H. See what we can get out of it. Okay, let's kill the lead one. Oh, kill lead 2 and go back to lead 1. And let's see because that was too much. I mean, that sounds pretty good right there. I'm gonna crank the bass a little bit. Let's see. Let's bring the presence back. Crank the gain a little bit since it's on lead 1. I think I like that. That sounds pretty good. So let's go to the JVM. So the SD1 is still on. Well, let's go ahead and bring the gain back, because I know that's going to be crazy. Man, that is chunky. It just sounds like it just hits you. Like, you know, you got the low frequencies that hit you up here, and the ones that hit you down here. I think this one hits down here. That's really, it's pretty brutal. All right, so I kind of dial all these in the way I like them. So let's go through those really quick and just see what each of them sound like. And then we'll call it a day. So this is JVM again. Alright, so this is 100H. There's a clarity with this one. I probably would want a little more gain from this compared to that one. So let's go ahead and crank that a little bit and see what it sounds like now. That is really chunky. Alright, let's go to 100HR. I feel like the HR just doesn't have enough punch to it. Let's bring the mids back and bring the treble in. Maybe that sounds a little better. But it's such a very mid scoop. I mean, I even scoop the mids now, but it sounds like it sits better that way for the HR. Alright, one more round. 100H. at the same point that the HR's at. This is definitely much more mid-forward. JVM. Alright, I hope this was informative, that you got something out of it. Just going through these amps, they're all awesome amps. Don't knock any of them. This is definitely more mid-scoop, this is more mid-forward. The bias is a little hotter on this one. And the JVM has these minor things that are not so great about it because of the noise floor, but it might be just this amp. The ability to do all 4 switches or channels and stuff is really cool. And this is definitely a tighter sounding amp. If you want that classic loose, or do you want that modern mid-scooped, there you go. DMD out.